Hi guys, welcome back to another progress vlog. So today I'll be making Gyomei from Demon Slayer, and I completely forgot to make this intro video, so the doll is a little bit more worked up halfway. But anyways, we're gonna continue on, and starting off with the bottom of his shoes, I'm using white for these sandals. Moving on to skin, it looks like he's just wearing flip-flops, and along the sandals I'm using this color Gray Beer by I Love This Yarn, and sewed it on, then glued it on to his feet for both of them to create the sandal straps. And then moving on, I am using white for the bandages that are wrapped around his leg. And then transitioning on to black, I also gave him these black pants. They're pretty long, and then all I do is just like push up the pants for both sides to make them kind of poofy. And the rest of his outfit will be black. For his arms, I'm giving him two similar identical arms. It starts off with skin and then transitions up to white and then black. I did take my black lace yarn and sewed on some of the veins that he has on his arms, since he really has like really veiny arms. So that's why the black lace is there for both sides. And then after that, from the neck forward, I'm using Magnolia Way by Crafter's Secret for the skin color. He has very white eyes. There's no pupils or anything like that, so I painted my 12mm safety eyes, and then I took black yarn and created this little shape around his eye, sewed it on for both sides, and then also gave him two little ears using skin color. So for the placements of the ear, I'm counting 4 stitches from the eye and then 1 row down, placed them on with fabric glue, and I also took my broken felt tip needle and stabbed it in there. Did that for both sides. So the pins here are for the ears, so that way they can dry and stay in place. And finally, I'm giving him black hair cap, 4 inner rounds and 3 outer rounds. Doing this so that way there's enough room for the ears, and then you can see it. So for the back side, he does have this bald area right here, just right beneath his neck, and I'll be back with the next update. Hi guys, welcome back to another quick update. So up next, we're starting off with this white part right here, which is the belt. I'm using white yarn, chained it, and then simply sewed it around the waist on round 14. After that, I took this silver yarn by Yarn Bees and simply glued it around the belt in the middle to create the little belt buckle. Moving on, I took this little honey yarn, tied it into a knot, and then stabbed it onto round 15 right above the belt buckle. And then after that, I'm taking this area right here. So this is like kind of a complicated area, and then create a little triangle, which I'm calling it the chest triangle. Took my fabric glue, glued it right beneath the neck area. After that, I took a chain of white yarn, simply glued it right underneath the triangle to create like the white part of his outfit. And then after that, I took this purple yarn called Grape by I Love This Yarn, chained it, and also glued it right underneath the white yarn to create the purple layer of his outfit. After that, I took this red yarn by I Love This Yarn, chained it, and then sewed it around his neck to create the little beaded choker that he has around his neck. And then finally, I'm taking my black yarn to create this collar, which I did a single row of like single crochets and then simply glued on a white outline along the edge of the collar, followed by gluing it to the neck from one side, one open end, all the way to the back, and then wrapped it around the other side. So it's all simply just glued down. And yeah, that is the overall update so far. Up next, I created his little jacket, which I'm using this green yarn. It's a color, I think, by I Love This Yarn, but I lost the label a long time ago, so I don't have the specific color, and I'm not sure if they create the same color anymore since I can't find it, but it's a green color. Kind of looks like a pickle or a cactus color. So you pick something close to that, and then you create the jacket. And the sleeves are also 2 separate pieces, which I simply glued on to like the second row right here. So here's like counting from the top part is like first and then second row, and then I glued it like 3 stitches, maybe say on the 4th stitch from the outer layer, the outer edges. Do the same thing for the other side, skip like 3 stitches on the second row, and then simply glue it on. And there we go. So you should have like the sleeves kind of like flapping at his sides since he's not actually wearing it. This is a very similar type of jacket that I created for Manjiro from Tokyo Revengers, and I also single crochet the outer edges in white once I completed the jacket. So let's go ahead and put this on, and to make sure this is secure, I'm also going to be gluing the jacket onto his shoulders. Let's add some glue right on top of the shoulders, pin it down, leave it there to dry. Do the same thing on the other side, and there we have it. This is the current update so far. Backside is super simplified. You could like crochet the little squares and like embroider on the kanji symbol, but he has it a lot. So like other people, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Although I did try, but it was kind of a failed attempt, so I'm leaving it simplified. It's a lot easier too. And there we have it. I'll be back with the next update. Hi guys, welcome back to the next update on his head really quickly. He does have like this shaved area right here on the back side. When I first did the first layer of the shaved head, I used mesh, and I took some Mod Podge and put like a layer over the mesh fabric to create this little shaved head look. And I was like, okay, this process is taking kind of long. So I decided to take some white and black paint, mix it together with a brush to make it like a lighter gray color, or in this case kind of dark gray too. After a few layers of the mesh, I decided to paint over the shaved area, so right on top of the mesh part, which I think was kind of a bad idea because it kind of leaves like a little bit of bald spots thanks to the mesh. So I waited for the whole thing to dry, and then I simply added a few more layers of mesh just to like darken up the shaved head part. Not the best idea. I mean, if I wanted to paint it, I probably should have painted it first and not have to use mesh at all. So yeah, if you wanted this to be like faster process, definitely paint it. But this was kind of like a partial experiment, so I was just seeing what it was gonna look like. But otherwise, I usually do mesh for like the shaved head area. And yeah, it's kind of like patchy because I'm supposed to go over this with like 30 layers of mesh or something before it gets darker. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. So kind of patchy at the bottom, kind of see some gaps, but I think it's okay. We're gonna be mainly looking at his front face, so it's not a big deal. After completing that part, I took my black lace yarn, stuck a few needles to pin down where I wanted to place the fabric lace yarn to create this little scar that he has across his forehead. I took some fabric glue, just put tiny little dots of glue where I wanted the yarns to stick down, which is usually on the pointy parts of the scars. And then that's how I got these little lines to stay in place. It's simply just fabric glue. And then for the ends, I simply took my broken felt tip needle and like stabbed the yarn into the head, so that way it stays in place and it's not like fuzzing out everywhere. Yeah, I did that for the top and bottom parts of the scars, and yeah, it looks kind of weird. It's like he has like little waves across his head. It's supposed to be pointy, but for some reason, yeah, it's not turning pointy. It looks more like wavy lines, like he has some ocean waves on his forehead. I don't know. But that is the progress update so far. Now we're going to be working on his hair. I'll be back with the next update. Here really quickly on the next update, we're going to be doing the front part of his hair, which is really short, by the way. He has super short hair, and I noticed he has like some of the hairs kind of like zigzag on top of the forehead, which is why I'm adding these little hair pieces right here. And also, if you want to know how to create your own anime style hairs, links to my Nikki hair tutorial pattern in the description box below, so that way you can also make your own anime hairstyles as well. So currently I'm using a bunch of 4 chains. Probably not as visible just because the hair is really dark and black yarn is like super hard to see, so you can mainly just see the pins. I have like a 4 chain facing downwards this way, the pointy side down, and here's another 4 chain slanted this way, another 4 chain slanted this way, and I actually started the 4 chain in the middle, placing it here, and then work along the sides. So here we have a 4 chain that's pointing downwards, and then it mirrors the other side, slants this way, and this last 4 chain points this way. You kind of see like on the side, you can see like the little hair strands poking out. But yeah, his hair is like super short, so that's why I can't give him any eyebrows. I don't really give my dolls eyebrows. Their eyelids are pretty much also their eyebrows, and that is what it looks like so far. I do have some patches here, which I'm hoping to cover with some hair strands. That's why I didn't put too much effort into covering the backside. That is the overall update. I'll be back with the next one. Hey guys, welcome back to the quick update. So for the edges of the hair, I'm continuing to use 4 chains, and it simply points downward into the direction of the reference photo. So the hairs are pretty much slanted downwards and pointing down, and when you get to the middle part, they just point straight down. So on this side, the hairs are going this way, and for this side, they're just going this way. And yeah, I pretty much filled it along the very last round of the hair cap, putting all the 4 chains right there. And yeah, that is about it for his hair in terms of the edges. So for the other side, that's what that looks like. And now I think I'll just be using 8 chains to fill up the rest of the hair, making it kind of spiky along the way. And I'll be back with the next update. And here is the second to last update for his hair. Oh my gosh, I did so much of these little hair strands poking out. I started with these 2 strands right here in the middle. These are 8 chains, so for the rest of this I'm going to be using 8 chains just to fill up his hair to create the little spikes as I did here. So here we have this 8 chain. This is a regular 8 chain triangle right here. I placed the triangle down from the bottom part with 2 pins and then simply bent them backwards. Same thing for the other side, placed down the 8 chain and then simply bent it down, that way it can like poke up. And then for the rest of them, I just placed them down normally. So here we have the long side and here's the pointy side of the triangle. The long sides will face opposite of each other. They're going to mirror each other for both sides. It's like 1/2. And then the other side is just the exact opposite. So that way you can have this part poking up here, here. So here we have the bent backwards triangle. I added another 8 chain right here, directly across from it with a bit of this side pointing upwards. And then over here, here's another 8 chain triangle. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to see because it's just so black. And then we have this triangle right here, also poking up right here. Along the back side, here's another triangle, also poking up on the side. So as you notice the way I'm doing the triangles, you could just do like something similar if you want to create this type of spiky hair, to where you make sure that on the front view, you can see this strand poking up. Here's another one. Here's another one. It's like kind of evenly spaced out as much as possible. That's what I'm doing. On the other side, mirrors that. So here's the one on the front, and then it goes to the back side of the triangle, the second row, and then back to the front to where it's like in the middle between these two strands, and then this strand right here. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'm trying to make sure that none of the strands block each other. I don't want them like side by side, because if they're side by side, it's going to be hard to see, and then you'll see like an even bigger gap in between, so we don't want, you know, too much visible gap. And that's pretty much the purpose of this strand. In terms of the back side, it's still balder here, but from here, I think I would just put like regular 8 chains and fill them up like puzzle pieces. They'll just be flat right on top of the hair cap, because this part of the hair is already doing its job. It's already spiking up on the sides, and that's really all I care about. But if you wanted to, you can also make it more 3D effect and then have the hairs poke outwards to make it more accurate. But yeah, I think I'm just going to fill it up with 8 chains and then just leave this part sticking up on the front side, because like my dolls are just going to be standing and it's going to be viewed mostly on the front profile. So I'll be back with the final update. Hey guys, welcome back to the final update. So here it is, his hair completely finished, glued down, everything. So for the back side, I really did and went back and filled it up with completely in 8 chains. Hopefully you can see that, all the little pieces together. At least it's not too visible, I guess. When it's like black yarn, everything just kind of fits nicely into place. And then there we go. So yeah, only the top part of his hair has like the strands poking up, while the back is just plain flat, because when I put it down, especially when I put my dolls into storage, I know all the backside curls will get squished together and then I have to fix it. So it's easier this way just for me, but you can go ahead and make it all spiky on the back if you wanted to. And yeah, but the front side, I'm pretty happy with this. It flares out the way I want it to, and I just think this part is very exaggerated because of how large I don't know what that is supposed to be, like his scar or something across his forehead. And yeah, I really don't know anything about this character because he hasn't really shown up in the anime, so I've yet to see him for the next season. I'm assuming that he's gonna show up in the next season. I actually don't know, but I'm really excited. And I think at this point all of the Hashiras are done, finally completed, and I think I will be moving on to some of the Demon Slayer demons, Muzan, the leader, and maybe just a few of the demons, because they do look kind of weird and I'm not sure if they'll fit this body type, so we'll see. You still gotta see some patches of like bald spots if I turn it this way, so yeah, let's not look at that too closely. Thanks to those who donate to me monthly on Ko-fi, as it really helps fund my supplies. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe, as I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!